Okay, this is DragonofEternity and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, patch 7.0 MSQ, or Main Scenario Questline, or Main Story Questline. In the last video, we ventured into the 5th zone of Dawntrail, Heritage Found. We encountered the Queen of Alexandria, which is apparently an FF14 thing, which I have not played yet. So yeah, Queen's Fiend, and it turns out that this dome has been through, what, 3 decades? While the outside world has been through a couple of days. So there's going to be a lot of time discrepancies here. So, Queen's Fiend, I'm not going to say that correctly, am I? Queen's Fiend was showing us around the various places of this village, the outskirts, or this town. Is it a village or is it a town? Either way. So I guess she is going to continue the tour then. Scene would take you back to the outskirts, on the cloud. Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. My thanks again for dealing with the fiends. Come and visit us anytime. So, about this thing stuck to their heads. Are we gonna learn what that is today? Because that is kind of suspicious. I guess I've got to say. In between videos, I explored the area that I could, and I got the riding map from the Fates. So, we'll be going a bit faster. Oh, I'm standing right on top of you. So much of Alexandria I would love to show you. Do you hear that? Hear what?
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
Time?
I'm glad you could make it. Are you with us?
Queen's Fiend has come to see you. We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right. What's the matter, dear?
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us it was perhaps days, but for her...
Namika, it's me! Wuklamat!
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on, in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
Wait, where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
You can't say that. You can't say that.
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a Void Gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's noxious influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphyn's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
But of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder. Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zoralja resides.
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zoralja do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zoralja's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I'm afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about.
How can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud. Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
Alright, things were going nice until that moment. This is very unsettling. Yeah, what did I tell you about the machine? We'll see how it is with other people. As far as I could tell, Pepperwan generally had no recollection of Namika. I've never seen or heard of anything like this before. What's going on? How could Pepperoni? How could Pepperwayne suddenly forget about Namika? It's as if he never knew her. Could the same thing have happened to others as well, I wonder? There's only one way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namika in the area. We can reconvene afterward at the Aetheryte. So much for going to the Thunder place. Hello. An old woman named Namika? I'm afraid I don't know that person. I'm sorry I couldn't be of help. That's disturbing. What's that? Do I know a Namika? Never met anyone by that name, and I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. She spent time here, I would remember. That is suspicious, that is suspicious, that is suspicious. Caregiving resident. Do I recall caring for someone until recently, and you say it was a woman named Namika? Well, I can't say for certain if it was her. I wouldn't worry. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. What is this cloud? So it's the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika. It's as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. Like Gaia. While such a thing might be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt a surge in ether corresponding to the Act 2, and I sensed none in that moment. Neither did I, but I did notice something else. Right before Pepperwan seemingly forgot, a light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells. But who might we ask about this? If we continued making such inquiries, I suspect we would only cause confusion. Ask someone what the cloud is. Simple as that. Indeed, if we can't readily resolve the mystery about Namika, perhaps we could search for Kokui instead. Sveen said to try the Thunder Yards. It should be in this direction. Hello? Impossible! Uh-oh. Tell us what your bunny eyes see. Another kind of mechanical soldier. It looks dangerous. We'd better destroy it. Wah! That's not going to be not Namika. That's not going to be Kakwa, is it? Should we give chase? I think I'd understand her words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Erenville, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing. I'm fine. It's not nothing. Well, it went off in a direction we're headed anyway, so let's try to track it down. This really is a Cyberman situation, isn't it? Or a Jetsons situation where dead people are on the TV for some reason. I never understood that. Hello, chickens. Hello, Wukulamat. Nothing but birds over here. No sign of it over here. That voice, could it be? Oh no. I'm going for this. I'm actually going to check. Why would the dead people on TVs in the Jetsons? You found it. To the northeast? Then it must be bound for the mines. Come on then. It could well be a trap. Let's not rush in too quickly. Let's see, is it going to tell me why people are on screens? No, I don't think it is. I need to check on that. Maybe they're just showing a picture of the dead people. I have no idea. Irvin Sky. Cutscene time. I think it's safe to assume it went into the mines. An old coal mine. It appears to have long since been abandoned, like so many other places. The stone in those crates, could it be turquoise? So it went in here? I heard faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone, but we're still going in, of course. This may be a trap. Be ready for a fight, everyone. Speak with Erenville again. It would appear no one has worked these tunnels for in quite some time. I'm not worried. We've had to improvise countless times before, after all. This tunnel just keeps going. A device made of electrope. It seems to be the only one here. I can hear them. Several people up ahead. I can't make out their conversation with the echoing. Let's keep going. Stay on your guard. Alright.
What is this?
Aaronville!
A trap?
It really is you!
Huh?
Who?
I just have to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Olivia!
My darling, what now?
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun. But what are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Fussy little bun bun? Are you alright? Are you alright?
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galoo Jaja's kitten? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Ellen Espear was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
I'm sorry?
Oh, this won't do. Come in! Friends of my Ellen Espear are always welcome.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place, how are things still getting stranger?
Alright, I doubt I'm going to be able to pronounce your name correctly. Aaronville's mother is a floating machine, right? That makes about as much sense as everything else thus far. At this point, I doubt anything could possibly surprise me. Oh, you haven't seen the 6th zone yet. And neither have I! The Algans had machines that could be controlled remotely. Is she using something similar to communicate with us? Oh, this music. I can't say what's going on. I can't say I understand what's going on, but at least Kafkui is safe. Oh, hello. Can someone please tell me what the hell's going on? Come, make yourselves comfortable. You always too much excitement with her. Sorry for throwing her weapons on you. No worries. Nostalgia. If it's any consolation, this is rather confusing to us as well. Well, see, the barrier's broken down and now outsiders can come in, and fun times ahead of that. As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I can think of few people in the world quite so spirited. But as to what's happened, we'll need to ask her. Uh-huh. Gone and forgotten. Erenville is conflicted by this long-fated reunion. Yeah, I think we all are. Let's hear what she has to say. Is this voiced? Ooh. Nope. Oh well. It's so wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldessian. It's been a while since I've heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, it's just a body I can control remotely. I use this for our operations. We're members of a resistance organization, Oblivion, we call ourselves, and our goal is to thwart Zoral Jar's ambitions for conquest. Well, good news! As the leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't be easily found. Okay, so he's still alive, you're just using a machine. I see, whimsical appearances notwithstanding, yours is a serious cause. Right you are. Truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is... As I expect you already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. And does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zoral Jar. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. Yeah, about that. None of you wear those strange devices on your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's a regulator, the pinnacle of electrope technology, and that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Finally. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to a sudden death, such as in accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of soul cells is based on one's work evaluation, to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Souls as a common resource, and payment for services rendered? So the things they were absorbing back in the Void Send practice of consuming others for the ether comes to mind, and similarly, I expect that the act comes with some risk. Oh, Farfarello. Zeromus. Doesn't it dilute your sense of self? That is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management, then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence. The regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that regulators forcibly extract memories relating to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. So this is what is meant by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators, an integral step in soul cell production. Damn. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. It's then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. Oh. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. So the memories are in the cloud, and the souls are... Huh. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. And this is why people are happy here. On its surface, it's similar to the Yokui philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting about in it. Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. Red flag. All comes down to what you're used to, I believe. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria, this system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Were you from the 13th? Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electrope to devise a means to save what lives they could, so that the nation could endure. I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe the Turali would also accept this way of living. It came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Sphene didn't strike me as the sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunder Yards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Zoral Jar. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she has given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death, or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That's the natural order of things. Quite right, but however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just a person to show you, and as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. Alright. I wonder if the wall was meant to stop the fusion. Possibly. Take care not to get struck by lightning out there. One fellow reckoned you could dodge them by jumping back the instant there's a flash. But that's crazy if you ask me. Oh, Titus. Or Titus. Firearms make the most sense for people who don't have combat training like us. That's why we salvage as many as we can from the mechanical soldiers and convert them for our use. Alright. Nostalgia is my twin sister, like most people. We both used to wear regulators, but, well, let's just say a lot happened. Alright. Guessing it's something like one of you forgot your mother while the other one wasn't wearing it. Or something like that. Could be a mother, could be a father. Could be anyone. What does she intend to show us? So those regulators are to blame for everyone forgetting Namika, for forgetting what a wonderful person she was. What does she intend to show us? We're to see how the regulators work, but how? I'm sorry, but I can't accept the idea of using souls as a resource. Everyone here? Good. This is the responsibility of the Thunder Yards hunters to fell any fiends around wandering the area. We're to meet an acquaintance of mine, Striker, one of these hunters. Alright. Can we just... Nah, I suppose that way's quicker. You want me to go through the defective sentries? What do you think is in this box? I'm guessing food. I'm guessing souls. Judging by its name, I take it this facility is for gathering lightning energy. Given the opportunity, I should very much like to study Electrope on behalf of the students. While I'm not blind to the potential benefits of these regulators, the risks inherent in giving another party the power to alter your memories cannot be overstated. Never mind the ethical considerations of using souls in such a fashion. Let's get this over with. Striker will show you what life can be like wearing a regulator. Hello. Kakuya, what are you doing here? There's so many friends. Apologies for the interruption, but I was hoping they might observe you at work. Hunting, you mean? That's fine, I guess. Hold on. I assumed they were wearing special regulators like Queen's Fiend's crown. But aren't they wearing nothing at all? Nothing at all. It's much too dangerous to be here without one. What if they're struck by lightning or attacked by beasts? I can assure you they're all quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full responsibility. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Danger aside, there isn't really much to see. Kakuya said you're a hunter, but wouldn't it be easier for those mechanical soldiers to guard this place? It would, if not for the fact they're weak to lightning. The Thunder Yard being what it is, they've been ordered to stay clear. Some good they are, eh? But these facilities are vital to the upkeeping of Alexandria's infrastructure, so it falls to hunters like me to deal with any fiends. Given the danger, we're well compensated for our work. It's a perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. The special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. Selection? I brought this lot here to see this danger you speak of. If it's not too much trouble, I ask. Of course, in which case, it would be a shame to waste my efforts on just any old beast. You all can handle yourselves in a fight, right? If you cause a ruckus slaying what critters you see nearby, there's a chance you'll draw out something worthy of a demonstration. You're gonna show us what the last boss in the previous dungeon did. I'm not sure I understand, but I suppose we should each slay what we can. I'm afraid I must leave the fighting to you. My fussy little bun was never any good at fighting, and this body of mine isn't suited to it either. We leave this work in your capable hands. Ah, the fussy little bun. Alright, where am I going? All the way down there. Charged Bolt Hound. Alright. Dun, dun, dun. At least we got nice battle music to break up the OST of this place. I kinda wonder if we'll get rid of the dome. Would be interesting if we did. Maybe these guys could have some clear skies. Survey the designated location. Okay. This one will do nicely. A pugilist. We'll help you. It's fine, really. I faced worse. Just watch. Alright. I don't like the looks of this. Let us help. Oh no! Look out! Ah! Trial preserve. She needs healing. Is that truly you, though? Your memories have been copied and the soul is gone. This is a bloody existential crisis, isn't it? That was embarrassing. The bastard caught me off guard. Are you mad? Seriously, let us help. I told you not to worry. This will only take a moment. Ow. She's gone Super Saiyan. Okay, okay. Just like Zoral Jar. Come on, let's get out of here. That's also a function of the regulator? Yeah, we saw that in the dungeon. To like an extreme degree. I think I understand now how Zoral Jar was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa, for I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. As soon as the regulator turned red, it was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me, you empowered yourself with the soul of a beast? I'm reminded of the Serpentine soldier we encountered at Vanguard who did the same. So you've crossed paths with one of the King's elite. Such a form can only be achieved from gorging yourself on souls. Oh no. We could do the same in theory, but it's incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they'd allow hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. Oh, I see what's going to happen here. Well, I should be getting back to work. Take care. And there you have it. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls. Those are people's, and those are beasts. The souls of people can be used to grant the user preternatural strength. Naturally, they can also be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. And what about the souls of beasts? They work in much the same fashion, imbuing you the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you use the soul of a wolf, you would grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Striker. Using several of the same type at once, however, would result in physical changes. Your teeth might become fangs, your nails claws. Too many, and you'll become more beast than man. Changing one's forms through the souls of other beings, it becomes more and more reminiscent of Void Scent. Yet unlike the Void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken before they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. A cycle to which all within the dome are bound. This is wrong. This is all wrong. It is indeed hard to accept, being so far removed from our own beliefs. Perhaps more shocking is that the technology to achieve all this was developed hundreds of years ago. The civilizations and the reflections are surprising indeed. Thanks, MSQ. So that means Namika is in the system. Oh. I've never seen it for myself, but it's said that if a beast's soul is potent enough, a single soul is enough to induce a monstrous transformation. Are we going to see Zoraal transformed? Probably. Sphene speaks of lived experiences that suggest she's far older than she appears. Considering the power of these regulators, perhaps it's not so far-fetched. When MSQ spoke of surprising civilizations in other reflections, I wonder if he had Alexandria in mind. Having seen the beauty of the ethereal sea firsthand, I simply can't accept what they've done here in Alexandria. They've done what they could to survive. This is not exactly the best place to live. And that was before the teleportation to the source. Before Zoraal. While we all have our thoughts on souls, for now the important thing is we know what power Zoraal has at his disposal. It is one thing to separate corporate ether from incorporate ether, but to strip memories of the soul entirely is unprecedented technology. This is truly no longer only Tuliola's concern. With his newfound power, Zoraal has become a real threat to the entire world. Why the hell are Thancred and Uyanga? Indeed, he has to be stopped, no matter the cost. Gone and forgotten. The Void has been added to the Unending Codex. Zero has been added to the Unending Codex. Souls have been added to the Unending Codex. Alright, what was that one? Dome Breaker. Do I have any of the others? No. Complete the main scenario quest, Gone and Forgotten. Embracing Oblivion, Tender Shortcake. Okie dokie, I am gonna be accepting that one next time, aren't I? So I guess maybe we'll get into the city tomorrow? Or the day after? Depending on how I upload these even. Yeah, I'll definitely be next time though.